And for sure, you have a lot of pressure, but without pressure, you don't go for. Thanks, 1:37 p.m. For having me. It was a pleasure for me to do this interview with you. First of all, hi, I'm Berat Djimsiti. How I get to Atalanta, my journey. I think it was not the easiest way. Let's say before I played football in Switzerland, and then it came to one point that I didn't develop so much that I wanted. So I got this opportunity to change to Italy, to the team of Atalanta Bergamo. And yes, my journey in the start, it was not easy because I was quite young, 22 in this time. And I think in the first 6 months I had quite difficulties to find a place in the team. And also the team didn't went well, but now if you watch how I grew or how the team grew in these past years, I think it's an incredible journey to tell. When did I know as a kid that I want to become a football player? I think it's quite a difficult question, but I think in the early age I started to play football in a small village where my family lived and where I grew up. As a 5-year-old I started to play football, and I saw quite fast that I had some talent, let's say, because I could, not to be arrogant now, but I could see that I have more qualities than the other at my age. And so I think in this moment I thought for sure I want to be a professional footballer. I also had every time this in my mind, but as a young kid, you have a lot of dreams, you never know what's gonna happen, but this was for sure my desire. What does it mean to play for Atalanta? It means a lot, especially the last years. We grew up a lot like a team, like individuals, but also like a team. I think in the last few years we had a lot of success. And I think not only for the name Atalanta, but also for the whole city, Bergamo, it's a very important success, because before they didn't have this reality that we played almost every year in the Champions League. They never had it before. But what's more important for the people of Bergamo in the city, it's how you are outside the pitch. They appreciate you very much, how you are as a person. And there's also a phrase, an important phrase for the Bergamaschi, let's say. It's mean la maglia sudata sempre. It mean always to have the jersey sweat, and that's a very important thing for them. What does it mean to play for under Gasperini? Let's say he's a tough coach. He wants you to bring you always forward. He's never content that you stay on the same level. He wants that you grow up and to go always to give your maximum to reach another level that you not even expect from yourself. And I think this helped me a lot personally, also the other players. And for sure, you have a lot of pressure, but without pressure, you don't go for. 2020, yes, it was a year full of success. Let's say also if we lost this game that you said against PSG in the quarterfinal from the Champions League, that we got defeated from a great team, big players. But in the end, we are for sure we went out with confidence, let's say this, because we did a great game. Already we thought we're gonna win this game because we felt so good, and then PSG with a good team, they got the 2 goals in the last 3-4 minutes, and they put us out of the Champions League. I learned from this defeat, or as a team we learned from this defeat, that in every moment against the big teams or the big games, let's say with big players, you can never do less. Let's say you have to be always concentrated. You cannot do mistakes that you can do maybe in the other games, against smaller teams. But even there, it's you got punished direct, and especially in this game, for sure you learn this, that there you have to be always 100%, if not even more than 100% to give, that you can succeed against a team like this. What does it mean to represent a family country? It's difficult to describe because it's a very proud thing. Let's say the first word that comes in my mind, it's proud to make, because you play for a whole nation, and let's say you go out and play for the nation of Albania, because everyone watch you, everyone knows you as an Albanian player when you go out with this jersey. and it means for sure a lot of proud for me to play for this team. And I think in the last few years I'm also very happy and that we grew as a team a lot in the past years, and let's hope it goes along like this. Family means everything to me. I think for every person, family should be the first thing that matters, that you live for. Especially now that I have a baby of 16 months, changed my whole life. You know, it's there is something more important than myself. I feel like this, you know, and it means a lot for me to have also this my wife who is always there for me, you know, in this also, because it's not an easy job as a football player, because a lot of time you're away. And you need a wife to also accept this, you know. And I think I have everything together, and I'm very happy to have this kind of family. And the most important thing is that my family is healthy, and that's the first thing that matters. It changed a lot in my life since the birth of my son. I think the way of thinking it changed totally, because first you thought only about your family, let's say parents, and about your wife, you know, you thought only about yourself, you know, more. And now you have to think all the time about him, because everything is about him. Also, if you want to go out, you cannot just go out and, you know, to enjoy. You have to look what he needs, or he needs to sleep and all these kind of things to eat. And yeah, it changed quite a lot, but I love it. If to tell you the truth, it's a nice thing to do all in one. It's for sure not easy with our job, especially if you have a lot of games, if you play European competition. It's not easy, to be honest. A lot of time I'm away, but I'm thankful that I have a wife that cares a lot about him, and that grew up him like I wanted also to, you know, and that's the important thing for me. To be honest, in this moment, it's difficult to have hobbies, but because before, as we spoke before, since I have a child, there is not so much time, especially with the job that we have, to have a lot of time for other hobbies. But before, I liked to play a lot of PlayStation, and there I used a lot of time in it. But now, the last moments, it's not a hobby, but what I like a lot to do things with my family, to go out also when you have a free day, to go out in another city, you know, to see other things, and or to go and in a good restaurant to eat good, you know. That's the thing. It's the hobbies, the family. Let's say that like this. Real estate, let's say, it became an important part to me since, let's say, more than 2 years. I think 2020, when the pandemic started, I got the interest because I had a lot of time. I was close like 3 months in the center of the training ground from Atalanta. I was close like 3 months, and I had a lot of things to do. And so I was searching for these possibilities, you know, what you can do. Because you think also for further, because for after the career, what you're gonna do. So I started, and I liked it a lot, and this part of business. So I started it because, and on the other way, I had also in my mind that I had a friend, you know, from Zurich in Switzerland, that he was already into it, and he was like an important person, you know, into the real estate. So I started to get in this business alongside with him, because otherwise it would be a little bit difficult to start from zero, you know, like the person who lived in Italy who had never done something, you know, with real estate. So I had to start like this with this friend. I'm very thankful on this side for that he helped me. And yeah, it means investment, to be honest. It's an investment, and I think it's something that is difficult to lose the value, and something that always is growing. And you can see wherever you go in the world, you know, you can see always these buildings, new buildings, and so that's what it makes interesting. Life after football, really good question. I think I'm more the kind of guy who lives in the now, you know, and not in the future. But for sure, I made my thoughts about this, because I'm now 28 years old, and as we know, the career of a footballer is not forever, and for sure you got confronted with these things. As I said before, for sure I'm looking already now with businesses like real estate, to get an income also for after the career, because I have to look after my family. And on the other side, I have my wife that is into the business of fashion, and she's going really good since some years. She's a fashion designer. She has her own brand called Jalise, and yeah, I'm very proud of her, because this is also a thing, that she wanted to do on her own. She don't want to just to be at home and sitting at home and wait till I come home, and that's a nice thing that I'm very happy that she does this. And also for me, and because I like also the fashion, I like the fashion a lot. And I think also I had the last few weeks I thought that maybe I would like also to go into the world of fashion with maybe man clothes, but maybe it's gonna happen the next weeks, so let's see what happens.